Welcome to practice. Before we get started, if you happen to have a yoga strap, and I'm going to get a lot closer to the camera for this. If you happen to have a yoga strap, let's make a loop in it now so that we have it ready. I'm just going to undo this loop and redo it very close to it. So most yoga straps have a D buckle. It might be two metal rings. This one happens to not be the D buckle. It's plastic. You're just going to, and it goes in the same way, you just slide it up and over, and then bring it right down. So this will be a pretty small loop, kind of like a handle for a dog leash. And then you can just put that aside. In terms of other props, I have a blanket and blocks nearby. Another possibility for you, you could be near a sofa or an ottoman, preferably one without wheels. And if you happen to have an inflatable ball, you could use this. A sofa, ottoman would work fine too. And if not, you can keep both feet on the ground when we get there. And then they roll back at me. So let's take a moment and find a seat that will be comfortable for you for the next few minutes. Maybe we're adding some support under the thighs, under the knees. We may give ourselves just a little wobble as we arrive. It's Monday. If you're watching the video, maybe it's not Monday. Let the eyes rest. It may have been a busy day. Take a full deep inhale. Sigh out. Let it go. So let's bring some movement into right fingers. I'm going to mirror directionally, spinning left palm down on the lap. Let that right arm reach out, extend out to the right, and maybe the wrist is a little lower than the shoulder. Chin turns towards the right. We may want movement in the fingers. And perhaps we bend the elbow. And if this feels great, stay here. If not, you can always just lower the hand back to the knee or onto the hip. So pressing the hand a little bit over to the left, start to reach your fingers forward, like we're making a hook with the fingers. Cluster the fingers together, slide the hand back, starting to create a little rotation, a little more twist out to the right with the digits open, digits spread wide. So pressing over towards the left, cluster the fingers together, sliding back. Keep breathing, maybe movement in fingers. And one more time, pressing, cluster, opening to the right. And perhaps we're reaching that right arm up in the air, going for lift, going for length. We might have a little fatigue. Let that arm release down. Shrug the shoulder up. Let it go. Feel free to repeat if it feels okay. We may circle the shoulder around. Try second direction. Extending left arm out to the left. Wrist a little lower than the shoulder. Chin left. Maybe movement in fingers. We may be bending that elbow, and we have the palm open at this point, and we're pressing over towards the right, and then clustering the fingers together and drawing back, maybe a little more twist left. Pressing, cluster, pull, and perhaps one more time. And we may reach that arm up in the air, going for lift, going for length. How does it feel through the side ribs? And letting the arm come down. Let the eyes rest. Invite that left shoulder to shrug up. Let it drop. Please feel free to repeat. We may roll the shoulder forward. We may try out rolling the shoulder back, forward, and down. Spinning both palms forward, movement in fingers. Extend both arms, movement through all the fingers, maybe a little sway of the head. Invite the arms up and overhead, finding a gentle twist towards the right side. You might prefer to put props under the hands. Let's inhale, return through the middle, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. Extend the arms wide, movement in fingers, maybe a little head nod. Checking in, how are the wrists feeling, the neck? Invite the arms up and overhead, and as we exhale, rotating, twisting to that second side. Let's bring it back up through the middle, thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart. Consider props as we explore forward bend. Maybe there's a little sway side to side. Maybe we're finding stillness. We could spin the props higher or lower and just let ourselves settle in to the forward fold. Let it out, sigh it out, letting go of the day, letting go of tension in the jaw, breathing into the belly. We may squeegee tension out of the brow with the sides of the thumbs. Let's roll up to a seat, starting to tip ourselves back. And you're welcome to have your hands on the floor or on the ground. Notice which foot you might have on top. Reach out through the legs, press out through the feet, give a little wiggle. Reversing cross of legs, navigating into your comfortable seat. So what does that entail right now? Maybe a few rocks, maybe a little lean forward. Coming back to breath. What does this side feel with this leg on top? Let's again extend right arm out to the right. We're looking right. Invite that right arm up in the air, maybe a little light bulb twist with the wrist. Let's look towards the left. Option to slide that left hand out. We may be tipping, leaning, lengthening left side body. You can have as much or as little bend in that top elbow as you like. We'll bring ourselves back up to center, resting. Feeling the breath move the body. Starting to bend that left elbow, reaching that left arm up in the air. Let's look over to the right, and maybe we're finding a prop and tipping out, leaning out. And maybe we're bending the elbow, perhaps we're extending the arm. We'll bring ourselves all the way back up and we'll just do it in reverse. Reach that left arm out to the side, maybe chin to the left, and then gathering the arm back in. Let the eyes rest. Full breath in body. So both hands now, palms open, give yourself a little bit of room. Circle the wrist, cluster the fingers, and then open the palms. Reverse direction, go second direction. And then pause with that for a moment and maybe palms face up, hands away from the body. Make sure you're not going to hit anyone. Just shake out the hands like you wash the hands and there isn't a dish towel nearby. Just start to shake it off, flick off the fingers. And then make a very loose fist. So mindful that you're not digging your fingernails into the palms of your hands, kind of like you're holding the edge of a sheet with your hands. Flex the knuckles down towards the ground and then flex the knuckles up. So just going back and forth, back and forth. So let's flex down and then press your pinky sides of your hands out to the side. The elbows will move out a little bit, and I'm going to exaggerate this a bit and tip my hands down so you can see what I'm doing. And then go ahead and press down again and bring the insides, the thumb sides of the wrist in towards one another. Flex, so your wrists go up, knuckles down. Press pinky side of the hands wide. And then flex, so knuckles go up, inner wrists in. And then try just smoothing that out and reversing direction. So the direction reversal sometimes takes a little patience, little concentration. And then just shake it out again. Flick everything off, and the hands may feel a little bit worked. Go ahead and find your props, inviting you a forward fold on this second side. Maybe there's a little sway. Coming back to breath. Oh, let the body sigh. We may squeegee the brow. Let's roll ourselves back up. Option to bring hands to the floor or props. We may extend the legs, give a little wiggle. Now, if you're sitting up on something taller, just take a moment to come off of that. Maybe slide it off to the side. Let's bring ourselves right down onto the belly. So tipping down, belly side down. We may tuck the toes. We may find a little rock from one elbow, forearm, one hip to the other. A little tip side to side. And start to lengthen forward into a Sphinx position. Perhaps finding a little wobble. Mindfulness breath. Coming all the way down. Sweep the arms back. Let the nose tip turn to one side. Possibly rocking the legs. We may just roll the heels out a little towards long edges of the mat, find center. We may roll them in, turn the head to the second side. Sliding the hands forward, palms down. Let the chest rise up, lengthening up. And exhale, rolling down to the ground. Consider bending the knees, and we may keep forehead rounded. And we may just sway the legs a little side to side. Let the tops of the feet return to the ground, pressing hips back towards heels, child's pose. We may sway the hips a little side to side. We may creep the fingers a little further forward. We may slide the hands in, bending the elbows quite a lot, and rise partway up and walk both hands over towards right knee. So we're trying to lift right ribs up and over that right thigh. Tipping into your forward fold. So the elbows may come high, the arms might be extending over to the right. Let's slowly rise up, find the middle, and walking the hands to that second side. So we're lifting left ribs up and over the thigh. And you're welcome to keep bending elbows. We may be bringing brow down onto a block or the ground. We might extend the arms a little more left. We may lean the ribs a little more right. What feels good in your body? Navigating back to center. Consider finding something to cushion your knees. So we might find our way to hands and knees and round the back, moving into a cat pose. And this cat may turn into a child's pose, stretching more into the shoulders, shifting forward, dipping the ribs down into a sway back cow pose. And maybe we sway the hips to one side. We may round the back, find cat pose, hips find the middle. We might find a little rock, like we're wagging the tail. Let the ribs dip back towards cow, and the hips may sway to the second side, and perhaps we're starting to round the back, rolling that cat back to the middle, and we may rock the hips back towards heels, sliding the hands back. So as the hands come back, maybe we would prefer some cushioning on the tops of the feet. So we might scooch tops of the feet onto our something soft, and the hands could come to the ground or onto blocks behind the back. We might have a little sway side to side. Listen to your shoulders, chest rising. Rocking the hands in. Let's slide the hands forward. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, pedaling the feet, shifting side to side. Take your time. The backs of the lower legs may be feeling tight. We may step the feet a little wider. We may be holding onto those long edges of the mat. Draw up on the fronts of the thighs. Tip the sits bones back. We may shift the weight to the right, heeling left heel up, pivoting left heel in towards inner right ankle a little bit, and then let that left heel come down and the right heel rise. Right heel turns in towards the left inner ankle. And it feels like the right hip is a scotch higher than the left. The hips are asymmetrical. Let's take a pedal walk, walking the feet forward into a standing forward fold, head heavy, neck long. We may circle the head, we may have very deep bend in the knees, we could have hands on a chair seat or yoga blocks, what feels right in your body in this moment. Let yourself sigh. Pour it out, pour the tension out, down into the ground, pour the fatigue out, let it go. Put some bend in the knees. We might even find a little degree of bounce, just kind of checking in. Are we feeling lubricated in the knee joints and the hips? We may bring the hands up onto the thighs. Maybe we're feeling lightheaded. Take your time. Head lower than the heart. It is not unusual to feel lightheaded. We may sink the hips lower, rise up to stand, and we may just shift a little side to side, feeling into those hips. We may widen the feet and find a little sway and then swing. So one arm knocks the belly while the other arm knocks the back, and we may rock from one heel to the other heel. We may let those hands come up, and when they are in front, very gently knock the chest. And gradually sliding feet in and dropping the arm swing and letting it wind down. Let's spin palms to face forward, fan the toes, and perhaps we find a little rock forward towards the ball mounds of the feet and back towards the heels. It does not have to be your full range of motion. Inhale, invite the arms up and overhead, and as we exhale, tipping in, pouring into that forward bend. You may want your knee padding on the left side of your mat. Let's extend the left leg back, and perhaps we have blocks under the hands. So we might be saying hello to a low lunge with the back knee off the ground. We might decide, nope, that knee prefers to be down at this moment. If we drop that back knee, maybe a little movement side to side is more appropriate, or just feels great in the front of the thigh or that inner left thigh. Now, if we have the back knee up, consider putting it down and letting the hips glide back. So we might just reach the hips back and rebend. We may slide the hips back, and please feel free to repeat. We might spin our blocks up, slide that right foot forward and rock back on the heel, toe tips pointing up. We may slide that right heel back. Listen to your back knee, back toes pointed or toes tucked, whichever works best for your knee at this moment. Walking the hands up that front thigh. So we might lean back a little bit, and perhaps we're feeling a lot of stretch in the front of that left thigh. We might enhance that, turn it up just a little bit, turn the dial up by reaching the left arm up and overhead. We might find that movement in fingers. And perhaps we try out a twist, right hand, right hip, left hand, right thigh, right knee. We're feeling pretty steady. We might try extending both arms. And then bringing the hands back up through center, thumbs to forehead, to heart. Find your blocks, extend the blocks forward, tuck the back toes, back knee rises. Tap, tap, navigate, step that left foot forward. Tipping back into the forward fold. Head heavy, neck long, slap jaw, slap cheeks. Maybe circling the head. Let's rise halfway up. We may rock back on the heels. We may roll forward and peel the heels up. Let the heels land, walking the blocks, the hands over towards the right. Maybe bend the left knee. Maybe bend the right knee a little more than the left. We may try extending the legs closer to straight, find the middle. And we'll think about reaching that right leg back, but perhaps we are moving our knee padding to the right. So we can find little shifts forward, little shifts back. You can come down onto that knee at any point. Maybe we're keeping that knee elevated. What does this side need? So if we're bringing that knee down, maybe that little bit of side to side, just a very tiny side to side movement, doesn't have to be your full range of motion. So if you have that back knee up, consider putting it down. And we may start to reach the hips back and then reach forward. Take as much time as you like. Linger where it feels good in your body, where it feels like maybe, okay, that's the spot I've been waiting to be in. So we might come up onto the blocks and rock back on the front leg heel. How's the back knee doing? So toes tucked or pointed, whichever your knee prefers. Starting to bend back into front knee, left knee. Walking the hands up that front thigh and tipping back a little bit, feeling like you're going kind of low rider, and that might be enough. And maybe we even back it off. We might add in right arm up in the air, maybe a little movement in the fingers. Perhaps we try out the twist. We can keep hands low. We might extend the arms. Taking the arms back up and overhead as a possibility. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart, tipping forward. You're welcome to put hands on blocks or the ground. Tuck the back toes, let that back knee rise. We may need to move our knee padding out of the way. Tap, tap, navigate back foot forward. Pouring back into that forward fold. Can we let go of a little more tension, perhaps from the brow, the jaw, the cheeks? We may let the body sigh as we pour that tension down in the ground, into the ground to be transformed. And rising halfway up, walking our hands over to the left, and maybe we bend both knees. And then we might play with a little more bend in one knee. Do we have a preference? We may work both legs closer to straight, walking the hands back towards center, tipping back in, pouring in. Let's put bend in both knees, maybe hands to the thighs, to the hips. We might just sweep the arms up and overhead, coming right up to stand. Thumbs to forehead, thumbs to heart, hands on hips. So hands on hips, we might bring the knuckles together behind the back. We're rolling the heads of the shoulders back. Check in. We might bring palms together, fingers point up or down behind the back. What feels right in your body. Shoulder blades moving in towards one another. What's the head doing? The head's coming forward. I'm super exaggerating. Slide it back. This might be a whole lot in front of the shoulders. We can back it up. We can go back to knuckles together and rolling those elbows back. We may hold the strap or weave the hands together or just keep hands on the hips and start to extend the arms if we are holding anything or weaving fingers. And gradually releasing. Hand toes wide, sink hips, bend knees, circle arms up and overhead. We might go a little bit lower. We might sink down just a little bit lower and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chest rising. Right foot stays forward, left leg reaching back. Like you might choose to put that back knee on the ground. It is always an option. We might walk the hands up that front thigh, hands on the hips. Checking in with left hip, inner left leg, front of the left leg. Perhaps we're bringing both arms up and overhead. We may find a steeple grip, reaching those index fingertips overhead, thumbs crisscrossed. Which thumb is on the outside? So we may bend elbows, hands to hips, tipping in. Step the left leg in, work that right leg closer to straight again. Please feel free to heel toe left foot further back, more narrow, wider. And we may find a little nod at the head. And we may need to heel toe widen the feet a little bit to lunge bend back into that front knee. Climb the hands back up onto the front thigh. Remember which thumb you had on top. Switch it up behind your back. Roll the shoulders back, and we may extend the arms. Perhaps we're tipping in, taking those bound arms overhead. Rebending. Release the hands to the ground. Option to step it back to down dog, hands and knees, or child's pose. What is your energy level like in this moment? Maybe a little sway of the hips side to side, lengthening back body. Gliding forward towards high plank. We may land on the shins. We may roll down to the belly. Grab the ground, slide the hands back. Chest rising, rolling up and rolling down. So we may turn the chin to the right, arms back, shoulders draping to the ground, and we may bend both knees. Let yourself breathe. How's the low back feel? Maybe some gentle movement through the toes. And let's release tops of the feet to the ground, plant the hands, rolling up, chest rising. Rolling back down to the floor, press the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Sliding the hands back, so we're rolling up to a seat, and maybe you want that knee padding or top of the foot padding nearby. You might want it under the knees or under the tops of the feet. We may take the hands back behind ourselves, shoulders back, and we can stay here. Maybe a little sway side to side, shoulder blades hugging in. Some of us might lift the hips. The head may drop back. Releasing hips towards heels, sliding the hands forward, plant the hands, tuck the toes, perhaps wiggling, stepping, heel toeing feet back. We may find a little rotation of the head. Look for that delicious stretch in the back of the legs. Taking a walk forward. We'll walk the feet forward up to the top, short edge of the mat, maybe hands find blocks. Inhale, rise halfway up. Sinking into the hips. Perhaps we circle the arms up and overhead. And exhale, tip back into our forward fold. Right leg, reaching back leg. Option, little shift forward, little shift back. Put the right knee on the ground if you like. We may roll the blocks up to their tallest setting. We may walk the hands up the thigh, hands to the hips. So we're mindful of the right hip, right thigh. We may take both arms overhead, and maybe we're finding that reverse steeple grip. So reverse being the opposite thumb on the outside. Releasing the hands down, hands may find the blocks. We may step the right foot in and or wider. Folding in. Take all the time you need to arrive. Slacken the jaw, the lips. Maybe we're heel toeing the feet wider as we lunge bend back into left knee. Maybe we're wiggling the right foot further back and beginning to rise back up. So remembering which thumb you had on top. Maybe we bring the arms back up and recheck. We may have hands on the hips and keep them there. We may roll the elbows back. We might hold a strap. So we might again be flipping the cross of the thumbs, perhaps arms back, and maybe we are tipping in, pouring in. It does not have to be a super long hold. Rebending the elbows, planting the hands. Let's step it back, wiggle it back into a dog, perhaps. Rock the heels side to side, roll forward, land the knees, and let's come all the way down to the belly, point the feet. Sweeping the arms back, turn the nose to your second side. Maybe we're rolling the heels a little wider. Perhaps we're rocking the pelvis. Slide the hands forward, rise part way up, adjust the elbows forward, left forearm in front of the chest. Bending right knee, breathing. We may tuck the left toes, straight leg, lift the left knee, and then drop the knee down, repoint the foot. We may lift the right thigh, put that right leg down, consider reaching back for the right foot with the right hand. So perhaps we're spinning the elbow up-ish towards the ceiling and the head of the shoulder down, forward, nose tip might point down towards your mat. At center, how does this feel in the front of the thigh? Maybe it's all about the shoulder. Releasing the foot. Right forearm in front, give yourself a little rock. Lengthening forward, elbows hugging back towards hips. Let that left knee bend. Deep breathing. Tuck the right toes, let the right knee rise. Ratchet that right knee back, repoint. We may raise left leg. We may look left, reach back, find that left foot. And perhaps we're starting to point the elbow up-ish towards the ceiling, head of the shoulder forward, nose tip down. Maybe we're lifting up a little bit. And eventually releasing, come down and rest, either turning your head to one side or cushioning the forehead. What works for your body in this moment. Let's plant the hands, chest rising, rolling partway down and pressing back into a child's pose. Toes tucked, if you like to stretch into the toes. Then pointing the feet. Slide the hands back towards the knees, rolling up unfurling. Now, if like me, you kind of worked yourself close to a wall or furniture, scooch forward so that we can bring the hands behind the back. Chest rising. Where are the hands? You're welcome to point the fingers out or back, what works for you. The hips may rise, the head may drop back. So let's take a moment, slide the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips. We're coming back to dog, but this time, let the hands walk back towards the feet. We'll find ourselves back in a standing forward fold. Little nod, sway nod of the head, put some bend in the knees. Slowing it down, forearms to thighs, let the hips sink. We may heel toe feet a little wider. We may peel the heels up. We may come down to a squat. Now, option to, of course, support underneath those heels. If you have a balance ball nearby or the corner of an ottoman and you're not keen to come into that super low squat, you could absolutely be higher up. So we might be on a ball in a squat. You might be on the corner of an ottoman. We may have our heels on a rolled up blanket. You feel like the tailbone, you feel like you're in cat pose and the tailbone's really curling forward, trying to tilt the tailbone back a bit. And carefully, carefully let the hips rise. And if, like me, you're standing on top, let's navigate the heels down and off it. Put a little bend in the knees. We'll transition ourselves part way up. Look for your strap. So if we're close to the strap now, just go ahead and grab it, take it with you, and drape it over your shoulders so that it is handy. It's nearby. Don't trip on the ball if you've got one of those nearby. So we'll bring left hand to the wall and not mirroring. Right toes back. Crown of the head high. And maybe we're floating the right foot off the ground and holding the foot. How's the knee with this? We're trying to point the knee down to the space that the foot vacated. Sometimes it's going a little forward or wide out to the side. So we don't want knee pain with this. Maybe a big stretch in the front of the thigh. Let's release and trade sides. So we're bringing second foot back. We may hold the pant leg. Maybe you're already using the strap. Hold the foot, crown of the head high. Maybe we're taking wall hand off the wall to challenge balance. And then releasing down. So you can repeat that. You can absolutely repeat that. We might be finding that loop in the strap. And the loop goes around a foot. So we're starting on the right side. We're bending the right elbow right alongside ribs. Point the elbow forward. Watch out for the tail of the strap. The elbow goes up and overhead, and wall hand, standing leg hand, may come onto the strap. This can be a big stretch in the back body, side ribs, shoulders. The hands do not have to go closer to the foot. In fact, let them slide, let the foot slide lower. Feel for more distance between hands and foot. And just slide the foot down. Give yourself a moment. How are the shoulders feeling? With a little shift side to side. So when you are ready, maybe we have standing leg hand on the wall to begin. We're trying to catch a foot. Once you've caught a foot, bend the knee. Knee again is pointing down. Elbow points down, forward, starts to point up. Watch out for the tail. Drop it maybe behind your back. And perhaps both hands come onto the strap. And we're letting the hands slide away from the foot or towards the ceiling. Gradually step the foot down. So it is a lot in the shoulders. Feel free to just put your strap off to the side. And we might find an alternating shoulder roll. If you've got the balance ball or an ottoman or a chair to sit on, go ahead and come to a seat. Balance ball, just make sure you're feeling pretty confident on it. If you're using one, that you're not going to tip backwards and hit your head. So we may open both elbows, cactus arm position, goalpost position, little movement through the wrists, through the fingers, if we're on the ball. Little shift side to side, forward, back, or feeling really coordinated with it, round and round. And yes, the balls tend to be a little squeaky loud. Let's bring one elbow on top of the other. It doesn't matter which, we will do both. So we're finding an embrace and maybe these little shifts. We may find center, perhaps a tighter squeeze. And if it feels right, backs of the hands move in to touch. If this just feels impossible, go back to the embrace. Maybe we're bringing fingerprints to opposite palm. And we might try out elevating the elbows and moving the forearms forward. And we may slide the elbows to one side and turn the chin opposite, fan the toes. We may drop the elbows down, find the middle, lift them back up, and perhaps we try elbows to the second side, chin opposite. And find the middle, releasing, let the hands come down. So perhaps we are able to heel toe wider for a squat, and we might work on extending the arms so the shoulders are sort of rising up, lifting up towards the earlobes. And we might need to rock back and slide the hands up higher away from the knees. And we may slide one shoulder towards the opposite inner knee. Breathing into side ribs. And find center. And let the second shoulder move towards its opposite inner knee. Breathing into side ribs. Take your time. We'll move back up through center. Find those cactus goalpost arms. Second elbow finds its way into the embrace on top. And maybe we are gliding from the ball a little side to side. We might find a more centered position and bring back to the hands towards one another. And that could be interesting enough. Maybe fingerprints to opposite palm. Elbows may rise, forearms may move forward. Elbows may travel to one side, chin opposite. We might dip back towards center. Take the elbows up, elbows to the second side, chin opposite. You may have a preference. And we'll bring it back to center, unwinding, releasing. So let's again find hands on the thighs or the knees and let the shoulders shrug up. Pick a side, shoulder to inner knee. They're not really coming together. We'll find center and try the second side. And we'll find the middle heel toe, navigating those feet back in. Now, depending on what you're using for a prop here, we might just rock a little forward, stand up, and tip back into our forward fold. And perhaps we are heel toeing feet wide and rolling any balls out of the way so that we are in a wide-legged forward fold. We may be reaching the arms forward like a wide-legged down dog. And then consider navigating the hands in, walking the hands in under the shoulders, rising part way up. Turn your nose tip, let's say left. If you go to the other side first, that's fine. We will do both. And we may lunge left and walk the hands a little left. Extending that leg, pivot the toes in, find center, look to the second direction, angle those toes out. So we're starting to lunge bend into that second knee. And we're walking the hands over towards that foot. Maybe it is your right foot. And then we'll find our way back towards center. So you can choose a side to start with, and I'll go back to the right. We might start on the right side, bending into that right knee again. I'm mirroring. Hands may walk back to the right, and the left hand might hold on to that right ankle somewhere. We might work that right leg, right arm closer to straight. You are welcome to keep as much bend as you like in the right knee. You might prefer to have hands on your balance ball or on blocks. We may be working both legs closer to straight. The head might be kind of even tucking into and under the left arm a little bit if you are going to the right, if you're holding on to that right leg with left hand. Let the hands navigate back to the middle, back to center. Starting to bend that second knee. So maybe it is the left knee. We might walk the hands towards the foot and we can stay here, but we might hold on to left leg with right hand. And maybe we are extending left leg and left arm. Maybe your nose tip is kind of pointing at or angling at that left leg. Gradually releasing. Let's find our way back to center. Heel, toe, feet in. We're going to think about how you might like to come down to the ground. So maybe we are just going to bend the knees and sit mer person, like a mermaid, merman, off to one side and swing the feet in. So you might be finding a block. And if not a block, just something light that your knees, thighs could grip. And let's bring ourselves down onto back body. And as we arrange ourselves, just in terms of spacing, bring your arms overhead and make sure the hands aren't going to run into anything. And then you can just bring the hands back down, bending the elbows alongside the ribs, fan the toes. Let the hips curl up. So there's a lifting of the hips. We're breathing. How do the hips feel? Knees trying to track more or less forward. And then slowly, let the hips lower down. Let the hips release down. Let yourself breathe. So let's find the block and slide the block between the thighs. So we've got something to hold on to. We have a little feedback. Elbows are down, fan the toes. Let the hips reach up. And then gradually, slowly lower down. Let's put the block off to the side. If you have the balance ball or if you're very near the sofa or ottoman, just sway your hips to one side so that you can roll and rest sideline for a moment. And we'll bring ourselves up to a seat briefly so you can repeat what we just did. Or you might need to shift your legs a little closer to the prop, and I'm calling the sofa or your ottoman a prop, as well as this balance ball. So you might just adjust the ball so that you can bring one leg up onto it. One foot will stay on the ground with the knee bent. So we may have one leg up on the ball. Give yourself a moment to arrive, or one leg on the seating area of a sofa. Something that won't move. Now the ball is going to challenge our balance a little bit more. So elbows down and hips rising. Head, shoulders on the ground. Try not to tense or over tense the jaw. And let the hips come down. So if this is new, maybe we're building a little muscle memory. We may want to repeat that. Let the hips rise. Find easeful breath. And we'll come on down and then we'll just trade legs. So we'll bring the second leg up onto the ball, foot down, and let the hips rise. Let the hips reach up. And let the hips come down. We might give a little rock and just try it one more time, same side. And releasing down. So really check in with how your neck feels about this. This is not about a neck stand. We're not doing a neck stand. So we might bring both legs up onto the seating area of the sofa or legs onto the ball, practitioner's choice. Now, you might need to roll your ball a little bit further away if it's a small ball. Mine's fairly small for my height. So we may press down into both elbows and let the hips rise. So the bottom is not sagging and the legs may be straight. We might wiggle the toes to distract ourselves. And slowly come back down. Let yourself breathe and consider, maybe we want to keep doing it one leg at a time. Maybe we would like to revisit and try it both legs at the same time. Maybe we want to try it with the ball closer in, lifting hips up. We might have our arms overhead. You can come down, put your arms overhead, and then lift up. And then very carefully come all the way down. Knees are bent. Point and flex the feet. Point and flex. Find some ankle twirls. Twirl, second direction. Let the body sigh. Consider, if you were on the ball, letting the knees roll a little to the right. Find center. Let the knees roll a little to the second side. The chin may be traveling with the knees. Arms may be overhead. You might embrace one wrist with the opposite hand. Just finding these slow rocks side to side, and you could slow it down even more. And eventually we'll find our way back to center, and perhaps we just roll the ball out from underneath the legs, feet wide, knees tipping in. letting the body breathe. Perhaps we step right foot closer to the left, press into the feet, sway the hips to the left, and curl up, resting on right side body. So we may press into that top hand and slowly rise up. Now you can absolutely use a blanket or your mat rolled up or stacked up for this to make yourself really comfortable. You might even want a little more padding insulation on your mat that will go underneath your hips and legs. So we might find a rectangular shoulder stand fold, and you could have a couple of blankets stacked. You could stay lower. I like to use the bolster. It's a little higher and a little bit firmer. And then a block will go maybe 8 inches, 10 inches overhead. We might find another stack of pillows or block and put it even further away from your actual head pillow prop. So knees will face the right to start. We might put a prop between ankles and knees. And we'll come down, sliding your right arm over the prop and let your head rest. Some of the prop has a tail behind your back, is exposed. So the ceiling side hand could rest on your thigh. It could rest on the prop in front of you. It may come overhead if you can find your prop. And we might move that prop a little further away if we're enjoying the long side body stretch. Take your time. Let the eyes rest. Let yourself sigh. Now you can certainly stay here. We may place that top hand on top of or behind the head. And this is where you're being very mindful that you have some prop behind your head. You might need to push your block a little more to the left as your nose tip moves up to the ceiling. Your chest moves towards the ceiling. It doesn't mean it's going to go all the way there. Depending on the height of your prop, you might even be extending left arm. Left arm might come back to the floor, or we may want to build up props underneath left arm. Breathing into the front of the left chest. Let the eyes rest. You can always put bend back into the elbows or bring that left arm back onto the body if this is feeling like too much. Staying longer if you like. We may be very carefully rolling back to rest on right side body. We may be very carefully sitting up with just enough effort to pivot around to the other side. And don't feel like you have to trade ends of the mat at all. So as you come down, again, that upper arm is above the prop. You have some tail behind the back. The head is supported. We may have maintained the prop between the knees and ankle. We may be reaching that top arm overhead and maybe sliding or rolling that prop even further overhead for more elongation in the side body. You are welcome to stay here, perhaps bending that top elbow and making sure you have pillow prop behind your head to the right as you roll that right elbow to the right, right shoulder to the right. Nose tip may move up to the ceiling. The right arm may extend to the right, or you might have the bend in the elbow, the half cactus or goalpost arm. You are welcome to stay longer. We might be very carefully rolling back to rest on left side body. Perhaps pressing into that top side hand and rising up just enough to slide your chest prop around, turn it vertically, so that we'll bring ourselves into a fully supported back bend. Bring the prop up against the hips, carefully tipping backwards so that the head is also supported. If you're using blankets, sometimes they're not long enough and you'll need to add a block as your pillow. And we can add a pillow or blankets as both weight and warmth. The arms may drop out to the side if the floor is chilly. Bring the hands onto the body, perhaps tucking 4 fingers into the armpits, letting the thumbs rest on the chest. Let the eyes rest. Let the breath be your anchor. Possibly deepening the breath, bringing movement back to fingers, bending elbows to twirl the wrists. We may reach the arms long overhead and exhale, releasing. Perhaps very carefully rolling off your props to rest on one side. Supporting yourself if and when you feel ready up to a seat. We may be connecting palms before the heart, rubbing the hands together, placing a hand to the belly and hand over the heart as we breathe. Sealing our practice with sound. Deep inhale. Om. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing this practice. Please let me know if anyone has any questions.